Hi there everybody, this is Caitlin here and welcome back to a day of spoilers for Force of Will. We're getting ever so closer to the starter decks being released, but today we are looking first at the spoilers for Ancient Knights that came out on Monday there, or was it Tuesday? It was technically kind of like Tuesday morning-ish. I didn't get the chance to obviously upload the video yesterday. I was quite busy, sleeping mainly because I was absolutely exhausted after work, so my apologies that this video didn't come out yesterday, but I feel like it was kind of better that we do the two spoiler videos today, and that way you get like two slots of videos for the one day or whatever. So going into it, we have a bunch of water spoilers here to help out your mermaid starter deck for when you finally pick that up. Our first card here is Waterfowl, which is a 2-drop. It's 400, 600. It's 1 water and 1 void. It's like a strange looking penguin that has flippers and wings. It has flying. This card gains 100, 200 as long as the weather is rain. So it can become a 500, 800, which for a 2-drop, it's not too bad. I feel like with the mermaid deck, you might want to prefer to stuff it with as many mermaids as you want, because obviously they can get buffed and everything like that, but there are a few better cards that ever shown in the spoiler that you'd probably want to put in the deck, rather than the weird penguin that flies or whatever. But it's a cute card, I like the artwork, the kind of like lightning storm in the background is pretty neat. Next up, we have Thunderfish, a 1-drop, which is 200, 200. These fish are kind of creepy looking, not going to lie. I think it's the yellow eyes. It kind of gives them like a half-dead look. When this card enters the field, target Resonator doesn't recover during its controller's next recovery phase. And when this card is put into a graveyard from the field, draw a card if the weather is rain. So, very interesting card here. Kind of a little bit odd, because it's only like a 1-drop, it's 2-2. It's probably not going to be doing much else, so when it enters, you're like, okay, cool, you're not going to be recovering that thing. So it's probably best to play this after, say, your opponent swung in with something that's potentially quite annoying for you. Other than that, the only way I could see it being kind of useful is that maybe if you make it rain on your opponent's turn and they kill this, you get to get a little bit of draw power, but I feel like there's better cards that allow you to draw better than having to sacrifice a Resonator. Anyway, these fish live near the lightning caves. Interesting. I'm not sure why caves in particular would be conducting lightning, but I digress. Next up, we have Shayla's Elite, a 2-drop Resonator, a 600, 600. See, that's a little bit of better stats. It's 2 water. It's a mermaid, so it's a mermaid with like a samurai hat helmet thing, or like a shogun mermaid here. When this card enters the field, search your deck for a mermaid not named Shayla's Elite. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is basically searching for any other mermaid other than Shayla's Elite. So that's kind of useful. It's like a mermaid tutor, so it's like that way where it's like you don't need to worry about searching out for specific mermaids. It's just as long as it's not the Shayla's Elite. So I could see you running like maybe 3 of these just in particular, because it's like decent stats for a 2-drop. Obviously it's got the base of 6/6, which is normally quite good stats for a 2-drop. That's kind of what you're expecting, and it has a little search off it. So I like this card. I like the artwork as well, and at the bottom, protecting Princess Shayla with their lives. So obviously these mermaids take their jobs very, very seriously, even when they're looking as cute as all heck. But the next thing isn't quite as cute. It's Ocean Floor Archelion, or Archelon, or however you pronounce this thing. This thing is a beast. It is a 6-drop. It is 2 water and 4 void. It only has 600 attack, but has 2000 defense, and it's a dinosaur. Basically, it's the dino turtle of the sea, essentially. Blocking does not cause this card to rest, which is probably one of the big things here. Very, very important. And you can pay 4 water. This card gains 400, 1000 until end of turn, and this card cannot be blocked until end of turn. So it becomes a 1000, 3000. That is actually insane. It's actually ridiculous. Obviously, it's a really beefy Resonator, and there's not really any way to like cheat it in or lower the cost. So it's going to be one of those things where late game, it could potentially be good, despite the fact it only has 600 attack. It is a decent blocker, but at the same time, it's just like maybe your game won't be lasting that long, depending on what your opponent is playing. I don't know, unless there just like comes a way where like we can cheat in like dinosaurs or blue cards or whatever. Just another way to cheat them in would be pretty good. But as it is with the kind of melding in with the structure deck, I'm not too sure how well it will meld in, obviously. It's a dinosaur, so I think you could potentially also stick it in the Dragonoid deck, because they also use dinosaurs, but because it's blue, you might not. It's an interesting card. Next up, we have a chant. It's a quick cast, and we have Shayla's Foresight. And she's kind of looking like a little bit creepy down there. She's like kind of in the depths of the darkness of the sea. It's a 2-drop, 2 water, and you basically choose one. If your J-Ruler is Shayla or Shayla the Mermaid Princess, you can choose up to 3, which is like pretty mad for 2 cost. So, put target attacking Resonator on top of its owner's deck, or put target addition on top of its owner's deck. Or target player shuffles all magic stones from their graveyard into their magic stone deck, then shuffles all other cards from their graveyard into their deck, or draw a card. So you've got like, I think I counted 4 options there. 4 options out of your cards. So essentially, as long as you've got Shayla, you're getting quite a lot of bang for your buck with this 2-cost chant. You've got a couple of things. You can get rid of some pesky additions. One that I would think would be Circle of, I think, is it Zero's Circle of Protection? I am not too sure whether that allows you to target the Circle of Protection in particular if, say, they chose blue. Because obviously, if you're playing the base starter deck and you're not changing anything, it's just mono blue. If they were playing that and they just count as blue, I'm not quite sure whether you would be able to target the addition with blue cards, because I think it's Resonators and yourself, but it doesn't say the addition, so I'm not too sure. I would need to double check that. Although it is like, I'm not too sure there. But it's very interesting. Obviously, a bit of draw power. You can get rid of an annoying attacking Resonator. You can, if you're banishing stones, get them back into your Magic Stone deck. I'm not really a big fan of banishing stones unless it's got something really specifically good to use. But like, it's a really good card. I think you get a decent win con out of it anyway. Next up, we have Confinement, another quick cast chant. This one has Remnant. I feel like it's been a while since we've had Remnant here. But target Resonator cannot attack this turn. Again, this is a really good one. If your opponent has something quite annoying that they're attacking with and you just don't want them to swing with it, swing and quick cast this. And obviously, Remnant, you can get it twice. So you could potentially, if you're running all 4 of them, you could potentially get not 4. You could potentially get 8 uses out of it, which can be annoying to your opponent or whatever, if like they're constantly trying to swing and you're just like, nah fam, you're not going to be able to do that. Also in the background there, I'm not quite sure if those are actual horses or whether they're like armored seahorses. That's kind of bizarre looking. At the bottom here it says the Dark Elves were ill prepared against the powerful water magic. So I wonder why the Dark Elves fighting the mermaids. I'm not too sure why. I wonder, is Freyla's beef not just with the elves? Is she after the mermaids as well? I'm not too sure here. Next up, we have Seabed Investigation, a 2-cost chant. Sadly, not quick cast, but we'll look and see what it does. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Put a card from among them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you control a mermaid, you can put 2 cards into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order instead. So this is basically, I think people were saying this is essentially ancient knowledge, but with mermaids instead of like using ancient magic, essentially. So, again, it's not quick cast, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it lets you at least kind of search out your deck, mill through a couple of cards. Obviously, if you have a mermaid out, you get 2 of the cards instead of just 1, which is obviously insane, because getting those, like cards into your hand can be, like, changing of the game depending on what you end up drawing. So, like, you have, like, 4 options here of things that you can put into your hand, which is very, very nice. There has yet to be anyone who can penetrate the caves guarded by the Thunderfish. So it seems like the mermaids are struggling to get through these caves the Thunderfish are just chilling in. I don't know how they're managing to conduct lightning and electricity underneath the water. Surely that would ripple through the entire ocean and just kill everything, but I digress. Next up, we have another quick cast. We have Kiza's Call with a very angry-looking yellow dolphin, which is both... it's both, like, weird, but cute at the same time. I'm not too sure. This dolphin has just, like, got a major duck face going on here. Cancel target automatic ability of a Resonator, draw card. It is fairly simple. You're just cancelling that thing, you're drawing a card, it costs 1. Kiza's Voice can immobilize opponents. Very nice to know, very nice to know. I would definitely maybe put this in the blue deck, just because it's quite handy, because quite a few things have annoying automatic abilities that you just want to say, no, you know what, we're not doing that, these things are not going down, we've had enough. So, overall, these ones are quite interesting. I think they are better support, I feel like, for the starter ruler than, say, I'm trying to think of what the other ones have been so far. We've seen, like, some red support or whatever for Kirik. That's his name, isn't it, Kirik? So we've seen some of that. I feel like the mermaid support in Ancient Knights is quite strong. Obviously, we still need to wait and see what the support is like for the other rulers. So I don't think we've seen the elemental, we've not seen the vampire, and we've not seen panda support yet. We've just basically seen, like, a little kind of... We've seen Pandora and whatnot, and we've had Freyla. So I'm interested to see what else the support is going to offer up for the other starter deck rulers. But what do you guys think of these starters? Are you all in for the mermaids? I'm going to a starter deck tournament, and I am leaning towards maybe picking mermaids. But we'll be discussing the vampire starter deck in just a couple of moments' time once the video is up. So until later on, guys, I will see you all later.